Good morning. I'm Reverend Judy Andersen, and it is my privilege to lead our guided meditation this morning. So please, wherever you are, relax, breathe, maybe use your own special mantra. I breathe, I relax, I am. I breathe, I relax, I am. I breathe, I relax, I am. And if necessary, I'll rotate my shoulders a few times, lift them up to my ears and let them fall. And maybe once more, I lift my shoulders and I let them fall. And again, I breathe, I relax, and I am. I am. Such powerful words. I am. And I can follow those words with many others. I am health. I am love. I am joy. I am God in expression. I am alive, whole, joyous, excited about simply being. I am. In my reading this morning, before I sent out my morning message, I was reading, God is not simply loving, God is love. God is not alive, God is life. God is, I am. Speaking powerfully into my own consciousness, as I hope you will do to your own consciousness. As I speak in the I am, these words are yours as you accept them and embody them. I am. I am the singer. I am the song. I am that which is yet to be sung. I am that which is yet to be played. I am the song and the music and the player of the music and the instrument upon which it is being played. I am one with all that is, because God is all that is, and I declare my oneness in God, with God, and of God. And if I say God at the center of everything, I am also meaning God is also the circumference of everything. That truly God is omnipresent, all present, omniscient, all-knowing. God is. God is the seat of wisdom. God is not wise. God is wisdom. And so what do I learn from that? I am one with that which is wisdom. And how do I find wisdom? I go within to where that oneness with all that is does not have a physical barrier or a busy mind barrier. I go within to the center of me, which is God in its wholeness, unaffected by what is going on around me, not affected by circumstance or by event. That within me, which is God knowing itself through me, is perfect wholeness, perfect health, perfect mind, perfect substance. All that God is, I have the potential to be. Because all that God is present within me and as me. And as I retreat from my busy daytime mind into the solace of meditation, of quiet, and as I open myself to the wisdom of the ages, to the wisdom of that presence within me, then then all that I need to know, I do know. That which is mine to be is me. That which I should do, I shall do. That which I should know, I do know. Because that God center within me is alive, awake, aware. That God presence that guides and protects me is ever present. And as I turn away from personal worries and anxieties and rest in the presence of the allness of God, I find peace. I live in joy. I live in the best of all worlds, where God is not only at the center of everything, but is the everything. In my oneness with all that is, and that includes every being on this planet, every tree, every flower, every blade of grass, every mountain, even the chair on which I sit, and the floor beneath my feet. I am one with it all, because it is all God in expression. God in expression as a chair, as a floor, as the very air that I breathe, as life. And so I reaffirm to myself that all life is truly precious, that all beings are precious. Every creature is precious. From the flea to the elephant to the whale, life is precious. And today I make the choice to honor life without having to differentiate. In the center of my being, I hold an image of life that is bright and beautiful, illuminated and illuminating. A vision of life that is powerful beyond that which words can express. A vision that is powerful in its healing powers. A life that is greater than any medical diagnosis. Life that is stronger than any objection to life. Life that is far beyond the 70 years and 10 that was once described as an earthly being's lifespan. Because I know that life has no beginning and no end. But that which I am is co-eternal with the very power that I call God. That when I have served my time on this planet, in this body, that I simply leave it behind and go on to the next adventure. I walk through that shadow called death and out the other side into the sunshine of everlasting life. And as I do this, any worries I have been holding about myself or about a loved one or anyone else on this planet, I relax and let it go. I breathe, I relax and let it go. Life is so much more than a body. Life is so much more than the eyes and the ears and the taste and the scent, and the vision that I am given on this planet. Life is exciting, life is vibrant, because life is God, knowing itself as all that is. The ever-present God. The ever-present here, the everlasting now, is a one thing, is an allness, a vastness, a never-endingness. Life as I know it on this earth is precious. Life as I know it as being eternal is precious. Life as I know it as God is precious. No beginning and no end. I think of the sign of Omega, without beginning and without end, like a lying down figure 8, merely traces itself and retraces itself into infinity, that which have no beginning and no end. We often use that as a reference to the wedding ring that a couple exchanges, without beginning and without end. So life is. And I praise that life, even as many around us in this time of what we call COVID are surrendering their earthly life to go on to another experience. I say bless those beings and bless those that they leave behind them. Bless the life that is and the life that is yet to be. Bless those who grieve a loved one. Bless the loved one who is in a new phase of being. Simply bless life. Bless that which is all life. That which we call God, or the Buddha mind maybe, or Krishna, whatever name we know it by, Great Spirit, Holy Spirit, the One, the All, that which is good and only good. I love Emma Curtis Hopkins' words. My God is my good is my God. There is no difference. They are one and the same. And so I declare today that life is precious, that I choose to reverence life. Life expressing itself as me, life expressing itself as you. And as I reverence life, life and greater life is my experience. Whether I am 2 years old or 80 years old, life is. Life is joy. Life is a frog or a cricket in the background. Life is the notes of the flute. Life is the flute. Life is that which is playing the flute. Life ever expressing, ever finding new ways to express. Finding new ways of expressing through me at every stage of my beingness on this planet. Even today, life finds a new way of expressing through me. Because, as I have said so often, I am that which thou art. Thou art that which I am, and there is no end to that thou. And once more, I am that which thou art. Thou art that which I am. I relax in the truth, in the knowing, in the joy of simply being life, reverencing life, choosing joy, choosing health, choosing vitality, choosing wisdom. And once again, I am that which thou art. Thou art that which I am, and so it is. So thank you for being with me. And our service will begin at 11 o'clock sharp. I hope you will be with us then. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to Red Deer Center for Spiritual Living. It's wonderful to see each and every one of you, whether you're here physically or whether you're here online. It's a privilege that you have actually come and shared with us for our Sunday morning celebration. I'm Reverend Tress Phillips, and it's a real honor to be here this morning. We did have, for coming events, we did have a bingo. However, the bingo has been canceled due to the change in the rules of COVID, so that's fine. And now for our children, we have the Growing Spirits Circle. And the word for today is excellence. And I'd like to explain what that means. Excellence is doing your best. It is giving your best to anything that you do or any relationships that you have. And when you practice excellence, you are not trying to be better than anyone else, but you're trying to be the best that you can be. Being the best that each of us can be. That's pretty special. So if you will repeat with me, I'll say it once and then ask you to repeat it. Our morning affirmation for the children is, I give my light to my world and to my work. Okay, if you can repeat, I give my light to my world and to my work. Thank you. Precious words. Now, if you look, you have in your bullet our Sunday morning opening. And our Sunday morning opening is, if you read with me, today all things are made new. I choose to release old beliefs that have limited my experience of good. I know myself as unlimited possibility, ready to express life with greater joy, greater love, and greater creativity. I accept that all good is available to me, and so it is. Our Sunday speaker for this morning is Reverend Judy Andersen, and our theme for the month of January is Timeless Wisdom, Evolutionary Vision. Now, those are pretty powerful words, aren't they? Reverend Judy is speaking on Grounded in Wisdom, or you can't read a book until you open it. My honor to introduce Reverend Judy Andersen.
Let's see if I can get this off. Well, there's a reason. There's a reason why Reverend Joanne chooses to take her mask off before she comes to the platform. I think I might share that wisdom another time. So let's begin with just sort of opening what we call a spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer. Please know with me the good of this day. Know with me the good that is God, the good that is that spirit which expresses through us and as us, in us and through us. Know that good is all around us, waiting to come into our experience as we open ourselves to it, because truly there is that power for good in the universe. And it is true that we can use it. So let's go about using it by being careful about our choices, being careful about where our mind is, being careful about what our mind focuses on, because that is how we use that power, by focusing on that which is good, that which is true, that which is noble, that which is beneficial to our world, to our fellow beings, to all life forms on this planet. I give loving thanks as I make the choice to be that power for good in my world, and so it is. And so I didn't like the original title for the talk today, which was, kind of structured and kind of, what in heaven's name is that supposed to be all about? You know what it's really supposed to be about? It's what we used to do in January all the time, was say that our focus was to talk about the first 4 chapters of the Science of Mind. So guess what? That's the book that we have to open, and we can't know what's in it until we open it and start reading. And just as an example, about 10 days ago, about 10 days ago, I received from Amazon what is called an elliptical under-desk machine, so that I can sit in my chair and watch television and go for a walk. So on a day when it's cold or windy or I just don't feel like being out, I can do my walking indoors. But the thing about it that's sort of like the book that doesn't get opened is that I left that in the box for 8 days. And finally, it was Norris who got around to getting the box open, and my Norris is having a hard time with a bad back. So that kind of shamed me. He got the box open, and I managed to pull it out. It's a heavy thing. It's not like picking up a piece of tinsel. It's like moving a machine. Anyway, got it into our little family room and in front of my chair, and you know what? It's wonderful. So I'm so grateful for that. But it didn't do me any good until I opened the container. And so if you have a copy of The Science of Mind, but you don't open it, how much good is it going to do you? And so the first 4 chapters are called something like The Thing Itself and the way it works and what it does and how to use it. And our primary concern is to know how to use it. And and a big part of that is knowing what it is. It starts with our core beliefs. And Reverend Joanne started last week by reading one or two of our Declaration of Principles, which Ernest Holmes published in 1927. And the reason he wrote that is that somebody from a newspaper was interviewing this guy who had this new form of religion he was trying to invite people to. And so a reporter came to him and asked, yeah, that sounds really interesting, but what do you believe? So Ernest Holmes sat down and wrote up this, what we have called the Declaration of Principles. And I'm going to read it and ask you to think about each one as, I'll give you a few seconds at least after each one. We believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. This one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. We believe in the incarnation of the Spirit in everyone, and that all people are incarnations of the one Spirit. We believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul, forever and ever expanding. We believe that heaven is within us and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. I'd like to go over that one again, that heaven is within us and we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. What a promise. We believe that the ultimate goal of life to be a complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. Sounds like a bit of a stretch, but the ultimate goal, complete emancipation from all discord. We believe in the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. We believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. And that means the potential is within everyone. If you're not experiencing it and not feeling it, then it doesn't mean you cannot. It merely means you have not so far. It is a matter of sitting in the silence and inviting it and knowing that it is within you, like a candle that doesn't give light until you light the wick. The candle is within you, waiting to be lit. We believe in the direct revelation of truth through the intuitive and spiritual nature of the individual, and that any person may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. And that's why our world practices meditation, many different forms, many different religions practicing meditation and knowing meditation as a way of connecting with the indwelling God. We believe that this universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by the creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it. And that is a huge one, because we believe that what we call the law that spirit operates through surrounds us, indwells us, and responds to us. And this is what is meant when we say, stand guard at the portals of your mind, because our minds is the way we reach that creative something. It acts upon our thoughts, it acts upon our words, upon our dominant state of mind. So if our dominant state of mind is one of fear, of anxiety, of concern, then we're going to manifest those concerns in some sort of experience or in a physical way. If our mind is fixed on the indwelling presence, on God and on good, on joy, on life, on well-being, on love, then we get to outpicture in our physical world experiences that reflect those things. We believe in the healing of the sick through the power of this mind. And the manner of healing is through belief. You've probably all heard us talk about spiritual mind treatment. And this is what practitioners are for. As Gord Hemmelgarn and Lou Clark have been studying to become practitioners. But the center of that is learning that there is nothing to be healed, only perfection to be revealed. So the practitioner, the minister or the practitioner can sit down with you and say there is no truth in that which has been diagnosed as this or that or something else, because the truth of you is spirit, unbounded, unfettered, the perfection of spirit itself manifesting through you and as you. There's nothing that has power over that. We declare the thing to be, that the perfection is already there, and we choose to see it and to know it and declare it and let it be. That is spiritual mind healing. We believe in the control of conditions through the power of this mind. So if our conditions in relationships or abundance are not all that we would like, use the power of mind to change those circumstances, to know that God is all the substance there is, all of the good there is, that all that God is ready and willing to express itself through us and as us, and it comes into our experience in divine right ways, in perfect right order, for our highest and greatest good. And you sit back. We don't say that my only way to abundance is through a raise or through resigning and getting a different job. We don't say my good, my substance has to come from this place or another place. We simply say, I open myself to the good, to the abundance of this universe, of this that I call God, waiting and ready to express itself through me in ways of prosperity. I am open. My good is my God is my good. And so we move on. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. I love the part that says we believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. And finally, we believe in our own soul, our own spirit, and our own destiny, for we understand that the life of all is God. Those are the basics on which the science of mind was created. And if you should happen to go into the book, open the book, and read especially those first 4 chapters. And if you don't have a copy of Science of Mind, ask us for the little white booklet that we printed that is the first 4 chapters, and read them. Read them again, and read them again, and say, yes, this is the way I can live my life to be the best that I can be. Yes, I can accept this. My intelligent mind and my very soul can accept this. This is the way things work. This is the way things are. I make a decision to live my life as though I have power, as though I have the right to joy and prosperity and health. I choose to live my life as though all good is available to me. I choose to live. That is the principles of the science of mind. So I want you to be aware of that. And if anyone would like a copy of those principles, you can email me. If you're on my morning message list, just send me an email and ask, please send me a copy of the Declaration of Principles. So that is an extremely important part of the science of mind, is being aware of what it is. And if you don't open that book, you're never going to know what is in it. And if you don't know what is in it, you're going to be handicapped in trying to change your experience. So open the book, and even if you only read the first 4 chapters, or get that little white reprint of the first 4 chapters, and read them again, and read them again. The thing itself, the way it works, what it does, and how to use it. And you won't need anyone else to do it for you, because the power is within you. It is not just in the hands of a practitioner or a minister. You have the power. You are the power. Sometimes you'll feel overcome with whatever it is you're experiencing, and you might say, I can't see through this to the perfection, to the wholeness. I will ask someone else to know truth for me, to reveal the perfection in my being. And when that happens, call one of us. You know what? We love to do treatment. Am I right, Reverend Joanne? Reverend Trust? Yes. Practitioner Juliet? I thought she was here. Okay. I need to do some work on my eyesight. And that's fine. One thing I used to say to Reverend Gail when she was having eye problems was that her eyesight might be limited, but her vision was not limited. So I will claim that for myself. My eyesight might be somewhat limited. My vision is only limited by what I tell myself about it. Now I'm going to move on to something. As you probably remember, or maybe you don't, I spoke some time ago about having to put on hold our burning bowl ceremony until we can have a full turnout. Until we can, usually for that ceremony, we'll have up to 60 people in here. That is a no-no in times of COVID until we all get vaccinated. But I'd like to run through a part of it for you that you can do for yourself, whether you're at home, and if you're here, you can act on it when you get home. Part of the routine is that the first thing we do on our burning bowl ceremony is write a letter to ourselves. And I invite you to write that letter to yourself. And the top of that letter says, my intentions for 2021. And it starts with, dear self, here's how I decide to be, how I choose to experience life, how I choose to experience relationships, prosperity, harmony, love of self and others, and other good stuff throughout this year. And then you write that letter to yourself. Here is how I choose to be in 2021. You can do that at home. You can take out a piece of paper or sit down at your computer and write up a letter to yourself of how you choose to be. And then I would suggest that you do, when we do it here, you hand the letters back into us. We write them right here in the sanctuary and fold them up and seal them in an envelope and write our home address on it and put them in a basket. And then our office, our ministers, whoever is doing the office work, then mails those back to you around Easter. And what I'm suggesting is if you write that letter to yourself today, then seal it in an envelope, and on the envelope write April 10, just because that's 3 months from today. And put it aside, but somewhere where you can find it. And then on April 10, open that letter and see how you're doing. See how you're progressing on your intentions for 2021. And then you may choose to reassess. Maybe you choose to write a new letter. Maybe you choose to rephrase some of those things. But be aware that you are the captain of your own ship. Write your intentions, not as resolutions, not this and blah, 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 but intentions. And make them real and make them important and honor them. Do what you can to live them, and when you need to, reassess and write a new letter. But don't give up on it. The next part of the burning bowl exercise is to take another piece of paper. We call it magic paper. It's called flash paper. And on it, you write the things that can interfere with achieving the intentions you just wrote in your letter. And on that, you might write fear, anxiety, self-worth, a lack of self-worth. You might write, I don't feel worthy of a better life. You might write, health, I'm always sick. You might write, I don't believe in anything. You might write, I'll never have enough money to live comfortably. You might write anything, but write down beliefs that come between you and achieving what you expressed in the letter to yourself. All right? Identify those things to yourself, whatever beliefs you have about life or about yourself. And then in our burning bowl ceremony, you would bring that piece of paper and drop it in the bowl on top of a candle flame, and that paper would go up like that, and there would be nothing left in the bowl. Those things that stand between you and your good would have evaporated into thin air without even leaving ash behind. So I'm asking you to do this for yourself in some way. Write down those, what you see as obstacles to your good, and then dispose of them, whether it's through a shredder or whether it's through a bonfire in a coal stove, however you can do it. But write down those things and get rid of them, and know that that can free you to a greater good. And the final part of the burning bowl ceremony is that when you bring that paper to go into the burning bowl to disappear, one of our ministers will be standing there. We maybe have 2 bowls on the go. And then you let that go up into nothingness. And then you come to one of us and we affirm to you that that which you have disposed of in truth has gone into nothingness. and those things no longer stand between you and your highest and greatest good. And I want to invite you, whether you're sitting here or whether you're at home watching, I invite you to send me an email. I'm sure Reverend Joanne would be open to this too. And we can send back to you our affirmation that that which you have destroyed and cast into nothingness is no longer a part of who you are, no longer stands between you and that which you desire to experience. Is that a plan? And my email address is CAM, as C-A-M, and the digit 1, A-N-D, and the digit 2. So CAM1 and 2 at telus.net. It's a simple one to remember. I hope you've got a pen handy so you can write it down. CAM1 and 2 at telus.net. And if you haven't been able to write it down, call the office on Monday morning or Tuesday morning. Reverend Therese is here on those mornings, and she has my permission to give you my email address. So please use it. And Reverend Joanne, what email address do you want used? jborick at telus.net? jborick at telus.net. And Reverend Therese? Reverend Therese at Reverend, and it Reverend spelled out or just R-E-V? No, the whole word, Reverend Therese. How are you spelling Therese? T-R-E-S-S. Okay. At Gmail. All right. Reverend spelled out Therese, T-R-E-S-S, at gmail.com. So if you send your information to any one of the three of us, we will send you back the affirmation that we would be saying to you in person if we were having the burning bowl ceremony. So that's something I really wanted to share with you, that we don't have to be completely without that beautiful experience, even though we have to kind of work around the COVID situation. So my intentions for 2021, write out all the good that I wish, write out what my intentions are, how I choose to experience life. And that can cover health, prosperity, relationships, serenity. How many of us just need a bit of serenity in our life the way it is right now, which has been shaken up by this, what we call a virus? I want serenity for myself. I want serenity for you. And I want you to recognize that you have the tools to create it. Your tools can be found in those first 4 chapters, a fair bit of it. Your tools can be found in meditation, in prayer, in simply setting the intention to be with that presence and let it inspire you and guide you. That presence is right here, right now, within every being. It is within Adrian and Lena and Susan, Reverend Therese and Reverend Joanne and Haley. What was that? Haley, yes. What did I say? Okay, I did say Haley, you bet. Anyway, that presence, that loving presence, that all-powerful presence is already within you. Talk to it. Ask it. I've, in my lifetime, read a whole lot of whodunits, mainly British ones like Agatha Christie and Gail Marsh, who was really in New Zealand, but whatever. And I remember them talking about something on a business building and a sign by the door saying, "Inquire within." And since then, that's been one of my watchwords. You want an answer to something? Inquire within. And this isn't behind a closed door in a building. This is within your own being. Inquire within. You know, I've used this many times, and the example I like to use is the day when I couldn't find my car keys. And I said, all right, Spirit, you know what I did with those keys. I need them right now. The answer flashes into my head. You wore your red raincoat yesterday. Look in the pocket. That's where my keys were. It was an instant response. Not in the voice, but just in the knowledge. But it didn't come until I inquired. So if you need an answer to anything, inquire within. It is there for you to use, so why not do it? I've got some other notes here. I don't know if we need them. Oh, you know, on Facebook the other day, there was a quotation that I loved, and it goes right along with our topic. Well, it goes right along with this time of year when we're setting intentions. It says, don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive, and then go and do that. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. And that was written by Howard Thurman, Thurman, and I should recognize that name as one of our New Thought writers. I know I've seen it, but I can't put my finger on what he wrote. But do what makes you come alive. I bet with Adrian, golf is a big one, right? No? What makes you come alive? Ah. All right. Yes, all right. Susan, what makes you come alive? Stories, okay. All right. And Reverend Joanne, what makes you come alive?
Oh, music.
Yeah. All right, music is a big one. Reverend Traffs?
Anything spiritual.
Anything spiritual. So we have so many answers. And I asked myself, what makes me come alive? Haley, what makes you come alive? Come right up here because I can't hear you. I'll put my mask on before I talk to you. Okay. Oh, wow. Those are fancy. All right. What makes you feel really alive? Your kitty? Yeah. Yeah. All right. All right. Thank you, Haley. So her cat makes her feel vitally alive. I remember what that feels like. I haven't had a cat for some time now, but my little, actually, her name was Abby Cat. I called her Abby Cat, Abby Kitty, Abby Cat, Abby Kitty, Abby something or other Andersen. So my cat had a big long name and I loved her dearly, but she became old and sick, and so I had to let her go. But what makes you come alive? To me, in my younger years, it was skiing. I'd go skiing at Sunshine or Lake Louise and sweep down the mountains and feel exhilarated and powerful, and it was wonderful. I loved skiing. It made me feel 100% in touch with nature, with life, with my own body, with the surroundings. That made me super alive. So I want you to think on that which makes you feel truly alive. And when you're in a moment of feeling defeated or weak or unwell, go into your meditation and revisit the thoughts of that which makes you feel truly alive, whether it's cuddling a kitty or whether it's swooshing down a mountain in perfect harmony with the snow and the mountain and the trees and the sun. Whatever it is that makes you feel truly alive, keep that memory somewhere in you so you can access it when you need it, when you need to recapture that and say, this is the truth of who I am. I am truly alive. I feel myself alive, awake, and aware. And this is how I give back to my world, is by being truly alive. I can't do my best for my world if I'm in a state of dozing, of being only half alive. So think on that. I'll read that quotation again. Don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive, and then go and do that. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. Howard Thurman. You might want to include something like that in the letter that you write to yourself of your intention. In 2021, I choose to focus on that which makes me feel truly alive. That's going on my letter, which I'm going to be writing later today, because I printed off a copy from the office computer that says my intentions for 2021. So with that, I'm going to say, open the book. Open the book, read those 4 chapters, then think about them. And then decide whether you can change your life by working from the premises in that book. Phone or email me and ask for a copy of the Declarations of Principles. I put it in large print for me to read. But all you need to do is ask. Ask if you need someone else to be knowing your truth for you. Ask if you need somebody to see the perfection that you already are, and knowing that that outpictures in divine right ways for you. Ask. You know that quotation from the Bible? Ask and it shall be given. It doesn't say, well, give it a passing thought here and there and it'll be given. It says, ask and it will be given. And that applies to spiritual mind treatment. It applies to abundance. It applies to health. It applies to many, many things. So with that, I'm going to say, and so it is, and bless you, and thank you for being with us.
Okay, it's my turn. Hi, thanks for joining us today. And I'm going to read our prosperity affirmation. So if you have it, can you read it with me? My experience of abundance fills and overflows, washing away any need to hold my good to myself. And so I share and let the good flow freely, knowing that as I give, I am constantly replenished. I count my blessings and live from a grateful heart. Life is good, so am I, and so it is. And after reading that prosperity affirmation, really that is exactly what I was thinking about when I was thinking about talking about collection. You know, we don't have anybody here passing around the basket, but I'm just knowing that your basket is filled to capacity, and our basket is filled to capacity, because as Reverend Judy says, it's all consciousness. It's all what makes you feel alive. So what is your intention? prosperity-wise, abundance-wise. And I challenge you to maybe, if something feeds your soul, make a donation to that. If something resonates with you, make a donation to that. Because truly what you give comes back to you tenfold. You don't know where it comes back from. It might not come back in the way that you think, but I can guarantee all you give comes back to you so many times in joy and in love. So enough of that. I know that you can donate to us on our website. Hey, watch for our new website. It's coming soon, and there is a donate button there, or you can mail a check to the center, or phone us if you have a different way that you would like to drop off something. So I'm going to finish with our closing affirmation, and if you have that, please grab it. This day, I know that the perfection of spirit is alive in my body and in the body of my affairs. I am well, wise, prosperous, and joyous. Anything unlike this truth gently falls away from my experience, leaving me free to love my life, and I do, and so it is. And so as I go about this day, I just invite you to close your eyes for a moment and just breathe in the truth of what you heard here today, the truth of who you truly are. You are so much more than you ever imagined. You are love, you are light, you are joy, you are laughter. You are the very presence of God on this earth right now. And what you do and who you are is exactly where you are and supposed to be right here and right now. Take this week to be authentic, to be yourself, to be love, to be the magnet of love in your life. And I let this go knowing it is already done. It is so. Together we say, and so it is. Have a beautiful week. Bye.